Hi, my name is Jade. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new to this, please make sure you subscribe to motivate me. Scrum, as the runners of Scrum.org will tell you, is not a methodology. It is a framework at its core, a framework of a method that relies on scientific methods to solve what can be complex problems. Scrum originated in the developer and programmer world but has found footing in other arenas as well, including sales, research, and marketing. We will only be discussing its role from a software development and project management standpoint for our purposes here. Scrum is often confused with Agile development, but the two are not quite the same. Scrum certainly contains elements of Agile philosophies, but that does not mean they are the same thing. We will be examining the Scrum framework, Scrum principles, and Scrum philosophies in the rest of this video, all in the hopes that it can help raise your awareness of how Scrum can change your software development process. From a software development perspective, the phrase Scrum first found footing in 1986. The Harvard Business Review published a paper named The New Product Development Game. The phrase had already existed before this point, however, it was used in different terms. Prior to this point, Scrum was used in the sport rugby and described a formation of players. Since the idea of Scrum centers around teams, it makes sense that it was adopted as the name of this development ideology, for lack of a better word. An interesting piece of trivia, or, rather, a bit of trivial knowledge, Scrum can be written in a number of different ways. You will see it as Scrum, Scrum, and Scrum. It really depends upon who is writing the phrase. For purposes of this video, we will use lowercase unless it starts off a sentence or otherwise requires capitalization. The authors of that fateful piece of work, Hirotaka Takeuchi and Ikujiro Nonoko, were not traditionally software developers, interestingly enough. Takeuchi was a professor who studied business and marketing, while Nonoko was an organizational theorist who studied knowledge management. According to the two of them, the idea behind Scrum was that it was a form of organizational knowledge creation. They thought of it as a new approach to produce commercial products to maximize the speed and flexibility of manufacturers. The idea of Scrum was based on research by Ken Schwaber and Babatunde Ogunnaike, who thought complicated products required empiricism, lest they fail and become riskier to develop. All of that is beyond the scope of this video, but the important part to know is that Schwaber implemented Scrum at his own company, Advanced Development Methods. At the same time, three men at Easel Corporation, Jeff Sutherland, Jeff McKenna, and John Scummiotails, also adopted an early version of Scrum. This led to Jeff Sutherland and Ken Schwaber presenting a paper that described the Scrum framework at Object-Oriented Programming, Systems, Languages, and Applications 95, or OOPSLA 95. All of this led to further development of the concept of Scrum and culminated in a book co-written in 2001 by Ken Schwaber and Mike Beadle titled Agile Software Development with Scrum. From there, the Scrum Alliance was formed and, 7 years later, in 2009, Scrum.org was founded. The rest, as they say, is history, albeit a long and interesting one, well beyond the scope of this video. Scrum can best be described as a process framework that project managers can use for software development in very simple terms. It encourages, indeed, depends upon, teamwork, knowledge, and learning through experience, self-organization. Scrum consists of team roles, meetings, and tools that are designed to allow development teams to better structure and manage their workloads. To better understand the Scrum framework, you really need to know the basic elements of Scrum. Here is a list of the important pieces of Scrum for developers. Scrum values. Scrum teams. Scrum events. Scrum artifacts. I hope this video will be informative for you. Please subscribe to get latest updates from me and share your thoughts in comment section. I will love to read your reviews.